Hey everyone, welcome to a, large video review. This is a Transformers Power of the Primes Titan class Predaking, as you can see from the box. And only the box right now, because it's so big that that's all I can fit on the screen right now. It's, 5 Voyager class figures, plus a Prime Master. You can see, of course, this big old Predaking artwork with a bunch of little dudes shooting at him and, not doing much of anything. Includes the poster, you can see all that stuff on there. On the bottom, you have, big old purple Power of the Primes logo. On the side, this side, you have, again, the artwork. You can kind of see that. Don't want to get too close to the camera. You can also see over here, I'm not sure how well you can see that, but you got the Prime Master logos. On the top, you have the individual characters, or robots, Dive Bomb, Headstrong, Rampage, Razor Claw, and Torox. On the back, you have, the full-size picture of, Predaking there, including all the different robots, how many steps they each take, all the stuff that's included with them, including the Onyx Matrix, 18 inches tall, 45 centimeters, and, yeah, see all that. I'm going to read this out. Predaking has hunted many things, but this may be his greatest bounty, an ancient relic that bestows beast power beyond imagination, the Onyx Matrix. So yeah, it's a very large box. That's why I'm doing it separately. And in said box, along with the figures, which we'll get on screen in a second, there is, of course, the instructions. For pretty much everything, all the figures, how to combine them, how to transform in the robot mode, sticker placements there, although it's very tiny. This is my biggest problem. The sticker guide, it's kind of small. I wish that was a whole separate sheet like it was with Metroplex way back in the day. And here's the sticker sheet itself, really reflective. You can see I already took the stickers and applied them. I'll get to those with the actual review. And also, there's the poster. It's basically a large trading card, Predaking. Nice, again, the nice artwork on there. On the back, you actually have a picture of every single Prime Master, except for the 13th Prime, which is coming with the Optimus Primal Comic-Con version. Yeah, Megatronus, Vector, Prima, Alchemist, Quintus, Amalgamus, Nexus, Solus, Onyx, Legion Maximum, Macronus, and Alpha Trion all here. For, yeah. So there's all 12 of the Primes, some of which are only available at this point with, again, the Comic-Con Primal. So let's go ahead and bring the figures on, shall we? Yes, so they are, all 5 of them just barely within frame because, they're 5 Voyagers. Reviewing 5 Voyagers at one time is kind of difficult, turns out. Even with this slightly larger space I have since the last Titan figure I did. But yeah, you got Dive Bomb, Headstrong, Razor Claw, Torox, and Rampage. All here. And they're, alt modes, beast modes, whatever. The original Predacons. Except all Voyager size. I'm gonna go ahead and kind of, let's see. Let's go left to right. Why not? Okay, so I'm gonna put these guys off to the side, get them out of the way, just because otherwise it's gonna be really difficult. So first, Dive Bomb. Again, orange, yellows, and blacks and golds are gonna be the name of the game here. You can see that, yeah, and reds a little bit, but yeah, you can see. It's a bird of sorts. Got a very impressive wingspan. These wings would just be plain black, except again, the stickers are here. These are probably the best stickers in the whole set, is these ones. But a lot of the other stickers I'm having problems with, namely, they don't like to stay on. But yeah, you got bird mode here. It's kind of weird because it's like a bird, sort of, except the bird kind of goes up here and there's the tail feathers. And then here's just, I guess, the legs. You can do that. Because here's the claw feet, you can just put those down, and I guess you got that. That kind of works. You can do that for him. It's kind of a weird bird just because it does feel very much like a robot strapped to the bottom of a bird, so it's kind of odd in that regard. You got the guns here, which you can have pegged in the sides, and the head can move up and down. The wings can go up and down. They can't move forward or anything, but you can fold them like this if you want. 2 stopping points. And I guess the mouth can open, although then you're revealing the face. So that. I guess the tail can move a little bit if you really want to, but and the feet and whatnot. But they're supposed to stay together, and yeah, that's dive bomb, alt mode. It's a thing. It's kind of I'll be honest, kind of a weak mode. Yeah, it's still dive bomb. It's kind of neat, but kind of also kind of just weird proportions and whatnot. Put him off to the side. Look at Headstrong. Headstrong here with his big old foot gun on top, as they're supposed to. They actually, I was wondering, I thought for a second that, oh, they can't actually attach, but actually turns out they can. It's kind of weird. They have these little decorative like vent thing, square vents. I think I forgot to refocus the camera. Yeah, got these decorative square vents, and those actually peg into here, right here, where my thumb is pointing. That's where they peg in on each one of them. So it's kind of like, oh, okay, that's how they peg. I was wondering, I was like looking for like a spot to peg them on or something. It's like I thought this was gonna do something, but no, doesn't really do anything in any mode. Except, well, they can, I guess technically they can hold it via that peg, but it's kind of heavy. I don't like to do that. You can also see the other thing, which a lot of people have a problem with, is that I think the biggest problem people have with this set is this. The hip for Predaking, or hip and leg, upper leg for Predaking are just kind of underneath. And it's the same problem with Torox. They're just hanging out underneath, and not much you can really do about it. And then try to ignore it. But also it's kind of got, again, kind of, it seems like this Rhino mode is kind of unusually tall. They're like the legs are just really long. I guess this is actually all supposed to be the Rhino, this big old thick body, and this is where the legs are. But yeah, it's kind of neat. A lot of the detail comes from the stickers, and here's again the stickers. These ones are, some of them, the edges are starting to peel off. I'm noticing that. No matter what I do, just kind of start to peel off. I think it's just they're kind of cheap, and the problem is you kind of curl them when you're pulling them off, and they're trying to curl back off again even though they're applied. And the problem is I'm worried they're not going to last very long. Some of the stickers on some of these figures are already starting to peel, and it's kind of frustrating that they decided to do stickers. Sounds like they're not going to do stickers anymore, but still frustrating. I don't like stickers that much, and this whole set uses a lot of stickers, and I don't really like it. I just wish it didn't. But yeah, articulation, you got head can swivel, and that's about it. It can, I guess, look up, but then you're just actually doing that, and then exposing the robot face. You got the front legs can swivel and turn or bend like that, and the back legs can move at 2 points. No outward movement or anything. That's it. They got very simple articulation in these robot or beast modes. You're gonna see them hanging out back there. Torox is much the same, just different colors. I'm skipping Razor Claw for a second. Oranges, but rather than primarily yellow with red, it's mostly orange and black and silver. So different color scheme, but same, almost identical. In fact, have identical transformations and everything. So it still has the same thing of the Predaking leg just chilling out underneath. Still has the gun on top. Still same swivel and bends and all that. Although these don't like to swivel as much unless you bend them forward a bit, because it's a slightly different molding, I think. But yeah, still it's the same leg bending and all that jazz. Solid though. Solid if you got all 4 legs on the ground, but it's fairly solid. Doesn't move unless you want it to. I noticed there was a pin here, which I think is supposed to be a hinge for something, but it's almost like it was supposed to hinge and then, yeah, like that. It's like, this feels like it's supposed to move, but it ain't moving, and I'm afraid I'll break it if I try to move it. Because it looks like the mouth is supposed to open because there's a hinge there and everything, but I can't get it to move. I'm afraid I'll actually break something if I try any harder, so I'm not going to. I'm just not going to try to move that anymore. I'm just afraid I'll break something. So put him back there too. Razor Claw, though I guess the leader, the lion of sorts. No tail on the F. There's no tail in this mode. It's kind of odd looking. The back half is kind of weird just because you got, well, I guess it's kind of simulates a tail of this stuff, but it's kind of, I guess that means he has a double tail or something. I don't know. He's got this big old cannon on his back which you can remove. It uses actually a specific slot right here, like tab and slot system for this mode. Yeah, you got a lion. It's kind of neat lion. But also, again, kind of that weird, this is the thing a lot of them have, which is just simply the proportions in the beast modes are kind of just odd. Like the legs are just all too long. They also got little cannons which you can fold away, or if you want, you know, just kind of fold them up or whatever, although they're supposed to be pointing forward like this. Articulation here, you know, you can bend at the knee like that. You can swivel out at this point joint too. You can bend back right there. Go outward a little bit. These back legs can't really move. Can't really move out too much, but they can bend here at the knee a little bit, mostly forward, and they also can bend at the paw. There's actually a small ratchet there. You got that. The head can't really rotate or anything, but you can open the jaw. Another thing is also, this is where the Onyx matrix is hanging out, and this is also a really tight. That's very tight. Yeah, there's the matrix with Onyx Prime in there. See that? Yeah, you got the matrix, of course, once again pulled out. Unlike a lot of the ones, you know, it's not dedicated matrix, it's an actual Prime Master. That's just very orange and black, though, here. It's pretty much the primary color scheme here, orange and black. And it's Titan Master, so a little bit ball jointed head, so it can move left and right a little and waggle a little bit. You got ball jointed shoulders, so it can move forward and a little tiny bit outward. And knees are on a single hinge, and hips as well, so you can do a sitting position or whatever, or fold up for that mode. Then plug it into the matrix holder, the chamber, whatever you want to call it, and plugs into here. Close that up and make sure to click into place, and there you go. Simple point. Yeah, it's okay. Articulation. It's again got, you know, lots of colors. You know, they've got gold on the main. That looks nice. Nice shiny metallic gold. Those are not stickers. I'm glad for that. These are not stickers right here. That's an actual gold metallic paint. I like that a lot more. Thank God it's not chromed. Yeah, you still got the weird things. You got stickers. But the thing is, these are stickers which are weird because like they kind of go over these edges in such a way you have to do this weird stuff. And this is why I don't like these stickers. Is because it feels like they're going to peel off just because of where you have to put them. But also, I'm pretty sure these like D73 and stuff, there's stuff like that on all of them. I'm 90% certain that is the old Japanese numerical designation from way back in the day. But I have to double check that. Yeah, it's a pretty decent line. Just again, the kind of the weird proportions where the legs are kind of feel a little longer than they should be. And finally, Rampage. He's I think he's a Jaguar or Panther, but yeah, again, he's kind of got the weird proportions. Stands pretty well, although he leans forward, and I suspect that is intentional. Kind of the ready to pounce pose. His gun turns into the tail, so that's nice. He's got a tail, although it doesn't move because of the way it pegs in and everything. You can see the robot mode head, but it blends in pretty well with the neck and everything, so it's not a huge problem. But he's got a little bit of articulation here, and also he's almost entirely reds and blacks. And again, these are stickers which I'm a little annoyed by because these ones in particular, they seem like they're going to peel off at any moment, these stickers on this right here. But he's got articulation, can forward and back on those front legs. You can move the lower leg back like this. The paws can move forward and back. Not really, tiny bit of swivel just because of the nature of the joints, but not a whole lot. Rear legs, you pretty much got these little lower, really low knees, and you got the feet, and those can move, and that's pretty much it. So not a whole lot. I guess the head can do that, although it's not really a whole lot of movement. You can't move any higher than that, at least not that I can find. And the jaw can open. See, jaw can open. So yeah, again, not a whole lot of articulation in these modes, but they look kind of all right. I feel like these modes are kind of compromised for the other modes, particularly like robot mode and the big robot mode. So let's go ahead and get to those transformations. And once again, we'll start with Dive Bomb. Get these guys out of the way a little bit. So Dive Bomb here. again, most of them actually have pretty simple, basic, straightforward transformations, particularly the leg guys, Torox and Headstrong. But dive bombing, what you want to do is first take off these guns. They're actually 2 separate pieces each. Like these guns are actually can pop apart, and I cannot actually find any real good reason as to why they do that. They just do. So they'll pop those off, fold the wings up, like so. Take the legs down here, go down here, move these back like that, move these toes outward, split the legs, unfold them, tab them in up there. Same on this side. It's pretty simple. Take the arms out here, unpeg them from the side, move them outward like this, and then move them down so that in the way, unfold the arm entirely, unfold the arm. With the hands out, there's a simple pin. With the hand out. And then bird head, take the bird jaw, open it up. There's a little slot here that goes over this tab here. So you gotta move the head down and line it up just right. And that's it. Yes, the head sits really far forward. The way the instructions are drawn, it almost seems like the head's supposed to slide back or something, but I don't see any mechanism for that. If there's one, it's stuck or something. I don't think there is, though. I'm like 90% certain there's not. But yeah, you got dive bomb is robot mode here. It's again pretty straightforward. The only thing is for me, it's just weird because you got the arms are pretty far back compared to the rest of the body. It's like this is all lined up, and then the shoulders are a little far back. It's also pretty back heavy thanks to this backpack. But it's decent looking. Again, you got more black here, whatnot. You got some more detailing thanks to like gold on the shins, stickers. Again, I kind of wish the stickers weren't the primary source detailing. You can also give him the full wig span if you want in his robot mode, if you really want to. He still stands. You can also hold his guns, sort of. And this is one of my other problems with this set. This peg. These pegs are really short. So the problem is they don't go into his hand super tight. So it doesn't take a whole lot of effort to pull them up. It's like they barely go in. I'm not sure how you see that. But yeah, they barely go into the hands because of the clearance issue. So it's like it doesn't take a whole lot for them to come out again. And that's unfortunate. There's like no extension here or nothing. And that's disappointing to me. That there's not much there for. I just wish these pegs were longer or something. Even if they had to retract in or something for the Predaking mode, but I just wish they were. And they're not. So he has a hard time holding his own weapons. And that's kind of frustrating. Then they can if you don't want him to have the wings. You just slide them off. Now he's wingless. There you go. So if you don't want them to have the wings or they're just taking up space on the shelf, you can take them off. It's pretty simple. Yeah, articulation-wise though, head's on a swivel. Can kind of look up, but then you're kind of just removing it from the neck joint. Can kind of look down again, even though you're doing weird untransforming stuff. Shoulders on the ball joints, so they've got a lot of motion there, though they can't go back far because of the backpack. You got outward. You got a bicep swivel, dual hinge elbows. It's actually weird because the biceps right in the middle of the double hinge elbow, so that's kind of an interesting design choice. So you got that. Hands can't really move anywhere. He's got a waist swivel. He's got ratcheted hips. At least forward and back. Outward, just friction. Go about that far. Got thigh swivels. Knees are also ratcheted. They actually even have a little faux thing just to fill in the gap there because the hinge is back here. And they even got ankle tilts. Very minor, but they are there. They do have ankle tilts. My other complaint about this particular figure is his proportions are a little off. His torso feels a little too long. Because his arms only just barely reach his hips, and they should go further down. But then his arms would be really long. The problem is just simply the torso is too long. The torso should actually be ending right about here, but because of all the stuff he needs for Predaking, it's longer than it should be. So, yeah, it's kind of my problem with it. It's just kind of I think overall robot mode, his is kind of the weakest one to a degree, though, at least looks wise. So yeah, that's that. Now Headstrong. Go ahead and do that one. Whoops. Him and Torox have very almost pretty much identical transformation. First thing, remove the gun. Put that off to the side. And then from there, what you want to do is actually untab these from the back. Fold them down, and while doing that, unfold these so it's straightened out like this. Like that. So it's like that. You want to untab this piece right here, move it away. Fold these legs up and then in like that. Same on this side. Fold it up. Then in. Then you want to rotate this leg down, this piece down. This will actually become the leg. And there's a little tab here, which goes in a slot there. Rotate it in, that becomes the leg. Same with this side. Untab it from the back of that leg and tab it in here like this. Like so. Take these arms. You want to unfold them out like this, like that. Move them down. Same on this side. Rotate it out and down. Retab this back into the back. And swivel the head around. And you're done. And there's Headstrong's robot mode. Again, he's taller. He and Torox are the tallest of the bunch. You can see that, a good head taller than everyone on them. But yeah, they're because it makes sense. They're the big burly guys with the legs and everything, so of course they're taller. So yeah, the only thing, again, the biggest complaint is this thing is just kind of chilling out back here. Not much you can really do about it. It's just kind of just going to be there no matter what you do. It's unfortunate. Again, unfortunate, but it's one of those weird design decisions that's like, I don't think there's really much they could do other than just, yeah. I mean, there's only so many options they had. I mean, they could have had these attached, but then people complain about parts forming. They could have Razor Claw just be gigantic, but then people complained about the scale. No matter what they did, I think they were going to be. There's going to be some sort of compromise for Predaking, and this is the one they decided to go with. I don't mind it that much personally, but I understand a lot of people, it upsets them. It's actually not too bad in the alt mode. So I think this is the worst is when it's in the robot mode, because this is where it actually becomes a hindrance. But yeah, it's actually decent robot mode. You got some silver paying up, and so I really like some of the detailing here. These stickers, again, these are some of the ones that I like to peel off. I'm noticing these are not staying on super well. Again, I would just blame the fact they're cheap stickers. But you got head swivel, again, just a swivel there. You got bulge on his shoulders, forward and back, outward. They're a little low, honestly, on the thing. I wish that kind of thing feels like the shoulders should be just a touch higher in this mode, but again, I think that add a lot more complication, and yeah, not really worth it. He's also got ball jointed elbows, so that acts as a bicep swivel as well as a curl, which they go more than 90 degrees. He does have a waist swivel, but you have to untab this first and get out of the way, and then there you got a waist swivel. Only problem is, again, that's a lot of weight on his back, so it's not too bad. As long as you can have it right here. The ratchet's strong enough, it'll just do that, and then you can actually twist the waist if you need to. Hips. Forward and back, although back again is hindered by this just being there. Go outward about this far. Got thigh swivels, knee bend, 90 degrees or so. And once again, ankle, pretty decent ankles. Also could go forward and back a little bit too. Just a little bit, not a whole lot, but you got that. His weapon, this is his weapon, and what you do is you fold this as if you're doing that. And you take the arm, and you want to move it out like this. You want to do it here. And then there's this little slot here. Right there. There's a little thing right there. And you kind of move that into the slot, and boom. That's his weapon. It makes him side heavy, but he does hold a pose. He will stand up. So yeah, it makes him a little side heavy, but he will stand up without any real problems. So that's good. And proportionally, these guys are actually probably the best proportionally, is him and Torox. Speaking of Torox, it's pretty much the exact same thing. I mean, again, they're pretty much remolds of each other. Move the gun. So I'm just gonna blow through this. Move the gun, feet, down, move this out of the way, close up the legs. Move these down, tab them in. The arms, pull them out, turn it around, move that back down a bit, and boom. Done. Yeah, see. So again, same exact transformation, very different robot modes. You can see that. Very different robot modes, but same exact transformations. So yeah, it's you know, a lot. This nice little silver thing right here on the chest. That's really nice and everything. So you got that. A little bit of detailing here, thanks to the silver on his, or the stickers on his legs. Again, swivel head. Also nice visor. They both have the same visor type. They almost have the same face, pretty much. Kind of odd, but kind of neat. Yeah, swivel, ball joints, waist swivel, ball joints, thigh swivel, knee bend, ankle tilt, and both ways. You got ankle tilts both ways. There you got all that. And then once again, same thing with the weapon, except I like to put on this side just to differentiate a little bit. Weapon go on. There you go. So you got that. Let's go ahead and just go to Rampage now. Lower. First things first, remove the tail. Then take these back legs. You want to straighten them out and then fold them up into these little cavities here. Like so. Move them in. Then take the legs and move them back. And there's a dual hinge here. And you'll want to collapse it up against the back of the robot. Like that. Then take this whole back half, untab it from here, move it forward. There's a little big long tab here which go into a slot here. Make sure it goes all the way in. Like that, clicks in place. And take the legs, separate them. These are stubborn, but yeah, untab them and move them up like that. Untab and move up. I'll take the arms. Take these, there's a tab on the back. You move that back until it tabs into place. Move them forward like this and then unbend it like that. This. And then boom, boom. Take the hands, move them out. Like so. You also want to move the shoulders up just a little bit. Like that, if you haven't already. Take this piece back here, rotate it up like that, all the way up, and then rotate it around. So it becomes a backpack. Then take his head. It's kind of hard to get the grip on the head. Move it out, up and out, and until it clicks into place. And then take the cat head and move it down. And you have Rampage's robot mode. And again, the thing is, it kind of same thing with Razor Claw, except that the arms feel too short for the body. I think the problem is the torso itself is too long. It's just, I think that's just the problem with the arm guys, is just their torsos feel a little too long for everything, unfortunately. This is also the guy who has the most sticker problems on my copy. These are trying to peel off. You can see these stickers are peeling. You can see that. I'm not sure all you can see that, but you can see the that sticker is peeling off. Even though it shouldn't be. Same with this one. They're both peeling off. The knees are peeling off. The chest stickers are peeling off. Just, yeah, these stickers just don't want to stay on this guy. I don't know what it is. I think, yeah, they just, no matter what I do, they just don't stay down. And I'm just kind of frustrated by that. He's also very, very, again, still very much orange and red, and with some gold and black highlighting. But yeah, he's still very close to monochromatic. And again, he's got the stumpy arms, or overly long torso. Again, he has the same problem as Dive as well, which is this peg is not quite long enough, I feel, for the figure to hold his weapon properly. So again, it likes to pop out really easily. It'll kind of hold it, but it's a very tenuous hold. Also, this side, this leg doesn't like to stay in, so it has a tendency to just kind of want to undo itself. Yeah. So, yeah. That's the thing, is like, it torsos too long and just some weird problems there that just doesn't want to stay in, regardless of what I do. But articulation, also it always seems like he's looking down. No matter what I do, I can't get this to go up any higher. But yeah, he always seems to be looking down. And you can barely see his eyes, which are green. Yeah, that little ninja mask. You can kind of see that. Yeah. Yeah, articulation, his head's on a swivel. Again, just a swivel. Shoulders are on ball joints. They also have this little hinge right here if you want. Let's move them up and down. So you got that outward, forward, and back. He's got a ball jointed elbow, but he's also got this hinge right here. So he's got a ball jointed elbow, which acts as the bicep swivel, can rotate, and you can also curl it up that much if you really want to. So you got that. The only thing is this is kind of just chilling out on the back of his arm. That's the only problem, really. Waist swivel. Got ratcheted hips. Ratcheted ball joints, that's insane. Yeah, you got ratcheted hips, forward and back. Outward is friction, goes about that far. Got a thigh swivel. Knee bend, not quite 90 degrees. Almost, but not quite. And he's got ankle tilts. He's actually got pretty significant ankle tilts. Because they'll untransform at that point. They'll start untransforming, and then you got this weird foot. But it's not too hard to collapse it back correctly. You know, I think this is probably the single biggest kind of disappointment of the whole set is Rampage here. He's got the most problems of all of mine. He's just kind of bland. His stickers suck. He's got weird proportions. So yeah, he's just kind of the dud of the group. But we got finally Razor Claw. And he's also, again, just unpeg the weapon. Back here, you want to untab these side panels. Because here's the thing, they tab in both here at this slot and on this tab right here on the foot. That's where it tabs in for both of them. So make sure it's all lined up for lion mode. It has to be practically pointing straight down. You want to take these lion feet and fold them up like that. And then unfold this. And you got to do some weird folding here. While you're unfolding this, straighten out the leg. There's like multiple hinges here. So you got to move this up and then move this part down. Straighten this all out, and then there's this tab right here, which will go into this slot right here. Once you got it all lined up properly, and that's the leg. See. So again, on this side, want to move this out, straighten out that leg, and move this up, move this down, and move that out. I'm gonna try that. So it's all lined up like this. Try to line this all up, and then try to make sure that's tabbed, so that tabs in. If it doesn't tab in, you misalign something. Which is really easy to do, I've noticed. Just something will not tab and will not line up properly. There we go. There you go, that's his feet. Then you take these parts, the front legs, move them forward like this and down. Move forward. So, take the hands and move them out, and then rotate so the fists are rotated forward. Rotate the fist out. Rotate it forward. Take these guns, want to unfold them, rotate them around, and then turn them onto this side like this. So, unfold, rotate, down like this. Take the lion head, untab it from the front, rotate it forward and around, and tab it in. Once you got it lined up. Tab it in. Then take the robot head, move it out, and rotate it around, and boom, you got Razor Claw's robot mode. And he's probably has the best proportions, although he's kind of, oddly enough for a leader, he's kind of on the short side. He's like Wedge from Robots in Disguise, way back in the day, from the build team. You see he's about, same height as the arm guys. But I don't know, somehow he just feels smaller, and I think part of it is just because his proportions are a little different, so he just kind of feels smaller than he should. But he does look nice looking. I really like this one, actually. Primarily yellow and black. You got some orange highlighting, like particularly on the sides. But yeah, he's primarily yellow and black. He's got the least sticker problems I've noticed. You can have the mouth open if you want for the lion. If you want. But I prefer to keep it closed. Yeah, his head, again, swivel. can also look forward and back a little bit thanks to the way it transforms. Yeah, it can swivel. Got not ball joints, it's like a dual hinge. So forward and back, outward. Thankfully the guns don't get in the way, they're just short enough. He's got a bicep swivel. He's got elbows, which is about that far. He does not have a waist thanks to the way he transforms and stuff. He has no waist. He's the only one who does not have a waist. He does have ball joint, hips forward and back. They're actually pin disc, I think. Yeah, outward about this far, like that far. And then actually the skirt gets out of the way, so, well, sometimes. There you go. Knees, less than 90 degrees, unfortunately. And ankle tilts. He's got actually some pretty extreme ankle tilts. He also got a little bit of forward and back as well. So he does have opposability to a degree. He's missing a waist, unfortunately. I just kind of like this one. I don't know why. I just like him in particular. And his gun, again, he has the same problem, which is the peg is just a little shorter than it needs to be. It needs to be, all these pegs, that's the problem, is all these pegs need to be just a little bit longer on their guns. I don't know why it's such a problem with these guys. But yeah, the whole team, let's see if I can get them all in shot. Yeah. Without messing anything up. Okay, they're going to be all buddy-buddy for a bit. I'm going to have to move them back further. No way around it. Alright. Headstrong. And Torox. There we go. There we go. See, there's the whole team. Yep, whole team right there. And again, they look really good together. They actually look nice. I think, again, Rampage is just kind of the weakest one of the bunch overall. Dive Bomb is like, it looks kind of cool. Just the problem is torso. They look great. I like how the leg guys look. Torox and Headstrong. I think they look great. They just have really simple transformations. And again, they have the big old Predaking thigh just chilling out on their backs. If you see that. That's their biggest problem. And I like Razor Claw a lot. Razor Claw, I think, is a great one. Yeah, I think Razor Claw is a really great looking figure, even if he's lacking a waist. I think they look really good as a team together as it is. They're kind of a little simplistic, all things considered, like transformation-wise, but that's because, well, I guess it's probably to help reduce the price. Otherwise, he'd probably be like over $200. But, yeah. Because there is one last mode, and it's the main draw of the set. And, of course, that is Predaking. Yeah, Predaking is going to be difficult to film, I think. So bear with me. I'm going to start with the legs here. Go ahead and move these out of the way. Yeah, move that out of the way. And I'm also going to move these guys off to the side just to get them out of my way. Because I believe I'm going to have to put everything way back. And so take these feet off the shoulder. Take the hands out of the bottom because, well, you're going to need them. So you don't want them underneath everything. Make sure you know which one. This is going to be the right leg because this is the way it tilts. So you can actually kind of partially transform this back to Rhino mode. Yeah, you want to move that forward. It's supposed to kind of click in, but this one doesn't. But yeah, move that forward like this. Take this piece, finally move it out, straighten out this way, and then move it up on this other hinge back here inside till it's straightened out like that. Then rotate this part. Actually, move that up. So you want to rotate that forward and then move that down. Take the arms, move this back down. Take the arms, move them down like this. Back like this, like you're going back. Then rotate these down like that and fold them in. Just kind of chilling on the back. And then you take the legs, transform kind of back to remote. Make sure when you're doing this, there's a tab on the back of the leg right here that goes in a slot right there. Make sure you're doing that properly. It has to be straightened out. You know, the knee joint has to be in the right position for it to work. Make sure it actually clicks in. Otherwise, things aren't going to line up properly and you're not going to be happy. There, click that in. And then fold these back up, but before you tab them in, spread out the legs, and there's these slots right here will go into these tabs right here, and these tabs up here will also go into this stuff right here. So line that all up and tab that in, and then when that's done, you can go ahead and tab up here. Go ahead and tab it in up here once that's all lined up. There, and then same on this side, you line it all up and tab it in. Tab it all in. It's actually pretty solid, and there you go. That's the leg. It's the leg down. We're gonna put it back here. Exact same process on this guy. Exact same. Move that up. Move that. Move the fist. Put those off to that off to the side. Move that out. Move this out. Notice this on mine. This one is tougher than on Headstrong's. It doesn't like to move as easily. It takes a lot more effort. Again, move that up. Rotate that forward. Down. So. Then move this back, down, down. So rotate that up and click into place. Rotate up and click into place. Move it up and then tab him in. Make sure it's all tightened in, and there you go. Second leg done. Now, if you want to build this up properly, you're going to have to do, first thing, what you got to do is take dive bomb here and remove the backpack. Just slide it off. Why is it being stubborn? There we go. Slide that off, put dive bomb to the side. Okay, yeah, this becomes part of the torso, this whole thing. First thing is actually take the wings and undo them like that. Also, you want to spread them out for Predaking. Yeah, move them up like that, and take this whole assembly right here. It's kind of a multiple hinges. You gotta move this like that. Rotate the tail piece so it's like this. The other way, it doesn't matter. It's the same on both sides. So move that down, and then take these pieces, unfold them. Yeah, these pieces about them, they'll tab into the sides. That helps keep that all up. And there you go. That's the lower part of the portion of the torso done, which makes way for the razor claw portion. Again, remove the gun, take the head, spin it around, fold it back in. Take the lion head and move it back to its lion position. Like that. You actually want to take this piece too and move it up. So you'll want to untap that. Make sure to do that first and then untap it down there like that. And take the lion, these lion legs or slash arms, you want to fold them back like that. Then fill the fists in and rotate it back like this. See, fold the fists in and rotate it like that, and fold this down. You want to take these gun pieces. You want to move them up. You want to just swim around. There's a slot here, which will go into a tab there. Do that on both sides. Now, before you tab it in back here, the tabs there, what you want to do is, well, basically crack them in half to open them up, then pull the Predaking head out like this, then collapse it back together, and then so tab this all the way in. It'll click into place, like so. Then you can tab the legs in down here. There's big old tabs that go in these slots, like that. That helps all locked in, also into place. And meanwhile, you also want to take these and fold them out. It's really easy to forget that, and if you do forget that, you're gonna be in for a bad time. Now these legs, you pretty much just putting these back to lion mode. So untab that, move that up, except don't unfold these feet. So straighten that out, move these up. There's a slot here, which will go over this tab right here. So you gotta adjust things. It might be easy just to move this hip piece out of the way, or the hip skirt. Yeah, move it, adjust things until it's all in correct position. And tab it all into place, like that. You might want to keep these out of the way, like that. Do the same thing on this side. Open that up. then start moving pieces and adjusting them as you need to. Close that up. Yeah, align these up, tab that in, and then tab this all this stuff in. Again, these feet pieces, and then boom, this is ready to go, more or less. And then what you got to do here is you got to this stuff right here and this right here. There's slots here on the bottom here for this stuff. You got to line it up just right and slot it in. Make sure it's all nice and tight. And there you go. This is ready to go. You don't want to fold these wings quite up yet. You need to wait until you got the arms attached. You do that part, and from here, you'll want to take these hips. There's this piece right here. There's a slot here. These things right here. You want to slot it in, like so. Both of them. There you go. Now, take dive bomb. Take dive bomb. It's actually pretty simple. You gotta just fold the head up like this, get out of the way, close the hands up, fold up the arms, then take them, and you wanna, there's this whole panel right here on the side. You wanna undo that. Might be easier. These will pop off, so I like to hold it right here, and then use that as a hinge. Like that. And while you're doing that, you want to take the whole waist piece down here. You want to move it forward. Yeah, technically, it does have an ab crunch, by the way. I almost forgot about that. It's because it's a transformation. Kind of an ab crunch. It's kind of ugly, but it does technically have one. And you want to move that forward like this. It's a double hinge. Move it forward like that. Then you can move these pieces. Take these arms and collapse them in like this. And close this all up. Like so. This will also, these panels will also tab into this piece right here. Instructions neglect to mention this whole waist thing right here. It just doesn't mention it at all. It just doesn't. It just kind of assumes somehow that it magically warps to that spot, which is really frustrating. It just doesn't mention it, so I was confused as hell. Take the head and just move it down like that. So it just collapse like this. And then collapse the legs up like this. Fold the toes in. These have to stay out because of the nature of it. Then take the right hand, and you want to, there's little slots here which go over these tabs, and then you just want to line that all up and push it all together. Make sure it squeezes tight, nice and tight, and there. Then you finally rotate that, and you got an arm. Another thing you want to do is actually take one of the guns, right? Untab it. There's a hole right here. I'll peg it in. That's a shoulder cannon. It's one of the shoulder cannons. So we're going ahead and move up here. Actually, you know what? Before I do that, I'm going to do those last just to make this a little easier camera-wise. Yeah, that's one arm done. This arm, you want to take the head and collapse it in. This is the thing. This is scary because just how much force I have to use to collapse this head back in. Collapse that back in, move the head back out right there, their panther head, fold the fists up. And then you just want to take these arms, so once you do that, there's tabs on the inside. So where you can see that, there's tabs on the inside right here, which go in these slots right there. Pretty straightforward that. Same on this side, tab it in, and then collapse the legs. Collapse the legs. So, before you put them together, take the fists. Again, same thing. Just peg it all together like that. Nice and tight. Then rotate it forward and boom. Once again, though, also take the cannon and take it in. And see, that's the other thing. It's just those don't have the greatest connection. And boom, that's the other one done. And now I got to move the camera up. Right. This is going to be a little weird. I'm going to have to move it off the side just so it avoids the microphone. And even then, this is not particularly tall. I'm gonna have to adjust the tripod a bit. So bear with me. Right. Okay, that's the best I can do. Now, over here, what you want to do is there's little slots here. Just go over that thing right there. Just goes over. It's all lined up properly. It'll go over, slide down. Like that. Same with this side. Slide it down. You're almost done. Now back here, what you want to do is these will all, this wing will all tab it up into here. Plus there's little tabs which go into the sides right here. It's pretty straightforward. Just tab it all in. At this point, this is just kind of redundant connection points. Once it's all locked in, make sure it's all pushed all the way forward too, and then lock it all in. And then take these little line legs and just fold them in like this to fill in the back. You got mostly done. Last thing to do is take these two guns, tap them together, and peg it into the side right there. And you got Predaking in his 18-inch tall combined mode. And this is the main draw of the set. This big old guy. And it is, I'm going to be honest, I like this a lot. I know some people are upset about the proportions. He's a little taller and skinnier than he was in his original incarnation. And now they just released some design stuff, which looked like they were planning initially on making him a little stockier and bulkier. But I guess they just decided this was easier to do or cheaper or something. Anyways, I like how this looks. I'm not as a super attached to the, I guess, G1 guy as a lot of people are. So I like how this looks. I think it's a fantastic Titan class figure. In fact, I'm going to actually say I think it's the best Titan class set we've gotten so far out of the 5 releases so far, including Metroplex, Fortress Maximus, Triptychon, and Devastator. Now this guy, yeah, 5 of them. I think it's the best one we've gotten so far. No doubt about it in my mind. I think it's fantastic in this mode. It looks great. It's big. It's bulky. It just looks amazing, in my opinion. Although, got the arms, legs slightly askew on mine. There we go. Fixed it. Legs are a little skew. But he's big, and I like it a lot. It's large. I'm just going to compare him, hopefully, with the Devastator. Going to try to get both of them in frame at the same time. That's going to be prove to be difficult, probably, but let's see if I can do it. Yeah, it's going to be hard. Gonna have to angle them both. There we go. See, yeah, you can see this. Yeah, they're big guys. They're roughly the same height and everything. I like Devastator, but he's a better combiner overall. Devastator's got some weirdness going on with his combined mode, but I still like him. Just Predaking, I think, is the better one. Yeah, I just really like this guy a lot. It just looks great. You know, the colors really all come together now. The yellows, oranges, reds, blacks, golds. Again, the only problem is stickers. Mostly on this guy, but still the stickers are just annoying. There's a couple of them which are kind of peeling already, unfortunately. I don't like that part. Yeah, his cannons can move up and down. You can't really move them out of the way entirely, but you can put them pointing straight up if you want. You know, you can do that. You can remove them if you want entirely. You can remove them, but they can't fold out of the way. I wish they could just fold it down all the way, but they can't. At least not in the configuration I have. His head is on a swivel. It's full 360 degree as long as stuff doesn't get caught. It has sometimes a tendency to get caught, particularly there's little notches back here that get caught and stuff. Yeah, it's a big guy. Arms, big old. This is the other thing is I noticed I think this ratchet's a little... It's there, you can hear it. Barely. You can barely hear the ratchet, but it's kind of soft versus this one. But it still holds. It's soft, but it still works, so I'm not too worried about it. Just, I think, just not as clicky. That's a nice clicky ratchet right there. But they also have nice outward clicks. This is where you can get the cannons. Well, the other thing is, because of this design, this stuff gets in the way, so you have to like move the wings back and stuff, like because of these arms. They just kind of get in the way, but this arm's nice and thin, so it can do all this. This gets stopped up by the guns, unfortunately. Yeah, you got that. You got ratcheting elbows. Not full 90 degrees, unfortunately, but you got that. You do have... You do have wrist swivels. Full 360 degree. The fingers open. All that far. They're all one fused piece. The wings can move just like before and close up if you want. If you want to hide the wings, you can, but why would you? It's Predaking. Have the wings open. What's really crazy also, moving this down, he has a waist swivel, which works just fine. Only problem is right here, this little notch thing right here stops the waist from moving. So you can only go that far. It's unfortunate that it's a design thing. If it wasn't for these little bumps, it'd be a full 360 swivel. But he does have a waist swivel. The other thing is, I have a tendency, most figures like this have a tendency to pick them up like this. Don't do that, because what happens is it's easy to collapse these. Which, yeah, that's the other problem that some people have with this is, well, that's a very hollow back. I'm not too upset about it, but I get why. Some people are a little worried about the actual, like, longevity of this, if this is all put on, this weight's put on here. I think most of the weight's put on the forward part, which is more plastic, more and thicker plastic, so I think it's not a huge problem. But just something to be aware of if you're concerned about those sort of things. Hips. Yeah. Lots of motion in the hips. You also got nice outward motion, fully outward. Thigh swivels. Ratcheted knees. Although in mine, again, the problem is headstrongs that has a tendency to bend at the lower portion, not the upper portion like it's supposed to. When I bend the knee, unless I hold it a particular way. That likes to undo itself really easily. It'll just sometimes start to collapse, so I gotta pay attention to that. And down here, it likes to bend at this lower portion, which is supposed to lock in better. It doesn't, even though it's not supposed to. You got that. And of course down here, got weird stuff on this sticking to it. Ankle tilts. You go pretty far too. And if you want, you kind of sort of have, like, I guess, a pseudo ankle swivel. If you want. But yeah, he can get in some pretty wide poses without any real problems. You can, in fact, just get in some pretty wide poses without any real problems. So yeah, that's that. Yeah. This is the main draw of the set, and it does not disappoint in my opinion. It's a really good overall combiner. It looks great. It's the only thing is, I know some people, I understand some people are just upset just because they wish these were just deluxes and the Dinobots were the Voyager Titan class, but I like this. I'm glad this guy became the Titan class and not Volcanicus, because I'm not super thrilled with Volcanicus. I think this guy is great. I love it. I love Predaking here. I think it's worth it. My biggest complaints overall are the stickers. And just a couple, like, the pegs on the guns need to be longer. The pegs on the guns need to be longer, and the stickers kind of suck. Those are the only two big issues. Other than that, though, I really enjoy this figure a lot. And I think, honestly, it is worth the $160. Yes, it costs $160, but I think it's worth it. His drawbacks, the biggest drawbacks I think are in some of the alt modes, and well, just Rampage. I think Rampage is just the weak part of the set, but other than that, it's fantastic. I like it a lot. It's worth, like I said, it's worth $160 in my opinion. There's a chance he'll come up later like 50, 60 bucks at like Ollie's and Ross and all that stuff, but I think it's worth jumping in now. I got this one on Amazon. He's available at BBTS, TF Source, all that stuff. They all have them in stock. If you have the funds and the space, go for it. I can understand if you think he's too expensive or he's just too big or whatever, but if you have the space and the funds and you like Predaking, I would highly recommend getting this guy. He is absolutely worth getting it, in my opinion, and I love it a lot. So, that's it for my review. My really long, I think, about an hour or so review. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you found it informative and entertaining. And I shall see you next time with another video review. So, see ya.